I have a question. If you can go back in time and talk to your 20-year-old self, what type of knowledge would you give yourself, especially when we're talking about financial literacy, just knowing about money? In this video, that's what I want to talk about. I want to go back and tell, well, I'm going to be me, but I'm going to go back and talk to 20-year-old Lando, and I'm going to come up with 5 different things that I wish I would have known when I was around 20. Since I do have a lot of younger subscribers, this is going to be game of me talking to you, so you guys can know if you're watching this younger, you'll be able to use this information and be able to be so much advanced from the people that didn't watch it. And if you're older watching this, you'll be able to share this knowledge or come up with your top 5 lists to pass on to your children, nieces, nephews, or just any other younger adults that's trying to learn the game. With that being said, let's get
black rose, black rose, black rose, black rose, black rose in the sky. Black rose, black rose, black rose, black rose, black rose in the sky. Black rose, black rose, black rose, black.
Bienvenidos, Hayin Quela. Welcome back, beautiful people. I am Lando, your favorite motivational teacher. The goal is for whenever you come to my page to leave knowing something that you didn't know before you came here. We got to do some housekeeping. I know you guys want to get this information, but for you to get this information, you have to press that like button. It's not hard. Actually, it's not this way. It's this way. Press that like button, press the subscribe button, and that will help this video go out to the masses and all that type of good stuff. Appreciate y'all. So the first thing is pay yourself first. Now, a lot of these is going to be cliches that you have heard all throughout your life, but I'm going to break it down and articulate it a way where you can understand it, because I'm going to go into the nitty gritty in the background of it. So why do people say pay yourself first? So let's say, for example, you are making $500 a week right now. The goal is we're going to start you off with 10%. So as soon as you get a job, as soon as you get money come in, it don't matter if you're cutting grass, if you get an allowance, you're going to take 10% of it. So if you're making $500 a week, you are saving $50 a week. What you're going to do with that $50 is put it in your checking or savings account, mainly in your savings account where you're not going to touch it, or open an account that is only an ATM card where you can't go swipe it at a regular store like a MasterCard. Get you an ATM card. You can do it at Bank America. You can do it at a credit union where you only can go and deposit money and you can't spend it easily. You don't want this money accessible. You're just saving because you're going to be broke anyway when you're younger, but you want to always pay yourself first, and you want to get a habit, because once you get older, it's going to be harder and harder to do it, because you're going to justify multiple ways of how you don't have the extra 10% to give because you're already barely making ends meet. But once you start that, that's going to get you in a perfect saving habit. Then you're going to move it up to 20% as time goes. But thing number 1 is pay yourself first, and you want to pay yourself 10%. So the second thing is start a 401k when you get a job. When you're younger, you don't want to give any extra money to the government, to anybody, because you don't expect to get old. I'm here to tell you, if you keep on living, you're going to get old. And this is basically how a 401k works, because nobody really gave me the game besides my friend father. He told me when I got my job as becoming a flight attendant, he like, yo, this your first quote unquote real job. You need to get to 401k and make sure they match and all that type of stuff. But basically the way it works is when you are working, the goal is to work for a bunch of years and retire. So whenever you get a paycheck, let's say you got a company that will match. Let's say they're going to match 15%. So let's say you're going to give $30 per paycheck, and they are willing to match $30 per paycheck. So you're getting $60 going towards your retirement. So if that's $60, they take the money and they invest it into the market, and hopefully it grows. So say it's grown at 5%. You doing this for 30 years, putting in that $30 every single week, and it's growing at 5%. You can mess around and have $250,000 sitting in your account once you retire and you're ready to take the money out. That kind of makes sense. So start that immediately. You can go the lowest percentage, whatever you want to contribute into it. Make that just come out of your paycheck. You don't see it. And I know you think you're young and you're not going to get older. I wish I had somebody that can break it down to me on the regular personal level, because my friend did. He actually told me, but he was like 60 years old. So you're really not listening to somebody too much older, because they just going to say save your money, and it's going to be cliche. But yes, I definitely wish I would have started my 401k early because now I'm 34 years old and I'm light years behind. Well, not necessarily, but in the 401k world, I am. So that's thing number 2. Start that, do research, and learn about it. So with these 5 things, it's really something that I would tell myself because everybody's situation is different. Some people was raised rich, some people was raised poor, some people was raised with less resources. But these was the 5 things I will probably need the most. I needed the most at that time. So I'm sharing it with you. But in general, I would have probably said some different things if I was just doing a broad top 5 things I wish I'd known at 20, but I'm talking to myself. So if some of these you're already hip to, that's cool. You can come up with your own list, but we just gonna go with mine for now. The 3rd thing is to invest into the stock market. Now, when I say invest into the stock market, you want to know how do you invest? What do you invest in? I have a lot of different videos to show you how you can do it from your phone, but we're going to put the pen to paper. And basically all I want you guys to do is invest $100 a month. That's it, because you got to think from my age 20 to 34. So in the last 14 years, just think of how much the stock market have grown. If I was just investing $100 a month, that's over $1,000 a year. I will probably have like $40,000 just off of doing that. Remember, y'all, time is going to go past. If you keep on living, time is just going to keep on going past. So you want to start investing slowly. So I have 3 different stocks that you can invest in and not have to worry about individual stocks. These are ETFs, which is a lot of different companies all in one umbrella. So you don't have to invest individually into Facebook or Apple. Some of these have all of them all in one. The first one is SPY, ticker symbol SPY. What that is, it's just a mirror of the Dow. So when you see the Dow Jones and all the top 500 companies, that is the same thing. It's just a lot cheaper. So if you see the Dow is like 39,000 per share right now, this is probably only $300 per share, but it's a mirror of the exact same companies. It's just a lot cheaper. So if you invest in this one at $100 every single month, you are investing in the top 100 or 500 companies in the world. So just investing that $100, you are already invested in companies that you're going to use every single day. The second one is IYH. What that is, it's the exact same thing I just said before, but it's towards the healthcare industry and the healthcare world. What's going on right now? We have a pandemic. So you can already get the healthcare game covered with the top medicine companies and all that type of stuff. It's all in that one. And that's been going up consistently. So when you do your research and look at the 1 year, the 5 year, the 10-year chart, you're going to see what I've been talking about. And the last one and my favorite is QQQ. QQQ, that is basically the same thing, but it's mirroring kind of like the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ is more tech-like companies. So now you got the top tech companies that's going to be in your portfolio. So these are the only 3 you really need to invest in without knowing anything about the stock market. Now remember, I am not a financial brother. I'm just a black brother giving y'all some game. So make sure you use it, do your research, and choose wisely. The 4th thing I would have told younger Lando is read everything you can and educate yourself about taxes. In school, they tell you absolutely nothing about taxes, how they work, the percentages. When you get older, and especially when you start working for yourself, especially when you start making more money, Uncle Sam is going to piss you off more and more, because the more money you make, the more money they want. You want to know the tax laws and the loopholes and how you can avoid paying the highest amount of taxes. And the government is really set up for you to write a lot of businesses, real estate, all type of things off, but you don't know if you're not educated about it. So I would have took a class if I can to learn everything I can about taxes. So make sure you do that one. That's probably one of the most important. The last thing, number 5, is to learn how credit cards and your credit works. Now, my situation, I knew early that if you don't have the money on a debit card, that means you don't really need to get it. So I didn't get my first credit card until I was 24. So a lot of people got a lot younger and messed up their credit. I didn't get it until I was 24. So I was a little bit more older and knowledgeable, but I still made bad decisions. So I had 100% on-time payments. Well, to back up, The reason you want good credit is because you want to get a good, reliable car, whenever you want to buy a home, whenever you need loans for business. Your credit is everything, and the higher it is, the more they're going to give you the best rates where you have to pay back the least amount of money. It really comes down to three different things. Do you pay back on time? That will make your score go good. Your utilization. So let's say you get American Express credit card for $1,000. They want your utilization to be low, really under $100. So my problem was, if I had $1,000 credit card, I was spending $1,000. So I'm paying that $1,000 back. And they would tell you, yeah, you only pay $35 back a month, but they're going to also pay you that interest after a year. That's like $20. So you really want an annual free type of credit card, and you want to just do research on how to build your credit, because it's better to have good credit than bad credit until you get rich and you really don't need it. But then you probably still want to borrow other people money. Well, that is my top 5. I want to know what's your guys' thoughts about it. Leave it in the comments. If you are older and you have some more advice and some game for the younger people that they should know, leave it in the comments. They will check it out. I'm Lando Sess. Make sure you don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm out.